What if ancient life was hiding more than survival? What if behind the fire, behind the hunting, and behind the simple images we imagine, there were secrets, fears, rituals, and strange habits that shaped everything humans became? This is the hidden side of ancient life, and it may be more mysterious than you think. When people think about ancient life, they usually imagine something simple: caves, fire, hunting, stone tools, people trying not to die. That picture is not wrong, but it is incomplete. Ancient life was not just about survival. It was also about fear, belief, memory, ritual, habit, and meaning. In many ways, the real story of ancient humans is not what they did in plain sight. It is what was hidden beneath the surface, hidden in darkness, hidden in silence, hidden in tradition, hidden in the mind. To understand ancient life, we have to stop thinking of our ancestors as simple creatures living one step above animals. They were observant, they were imaginative, they were social, they were afraid, they were curious, they were builders of meaning. They did not just react to the world, they interpreted it, and that interpretation changed everything. One of the first hidden things in ancient life was how much danger surrounded it. Modern people often live inside protected systems. We have walls, roads, laws, alarms, hospitals, food storage, electricity, and screens that separate us from raw reality. Ancient humans had none of that. Their world was open, unpredictable, and often deadly. What looked like an ordinary night could become a fight for survival. What looked like an ordinary plant could be poison. What looked like a quiet forest could hide an animal or an enemy. What looked like a safe stream could carry disease. What looked like empty land could still hold threat. That meant ancient life was full of invisible danger. And invisible danger changes the human mind. It makes people watch closely. It makes people remember. It makes people share warnings. It makes people create stories. Many of the stories that later became myths may have begun as survival tools. Do not go there. Do not eat that. Do not walk alone. Do not trust the dark. Do not ignore the signs. These were not just random sayings. They were hidden rules for staying alive. Another hidden part of ancient life was how much people relied on memory. Today, we write things down. We save notes. We use phones. We search instantly. Ancient people had to carry knowledge inside their minds. Which plants were edible? Which path led to water? Which season brought animals? Which sound meant danger? Which elder knew how to heal a wound? Which time of year was best to move camp? This knowledge was not stored in books. It was stored in people. That made memory one of the most powerful tools in ancient life. And because memory mattered so much, stories mattered too. A story was not only entertainment, it was a storage system. It held knowledge in a form people could remember. A story about a dangerous valley could keep a child away from it. A story about a healing plant could preserve medical knowledge. A story about ancestors could protect identity. A story about spirits could explain the unknown. In this way, the hidden life of ancient humans was deeply connected to storytelling. They used stories to carry survival across generations. Another hidden part of ancient life was ritual. Modern people sometimes think rituals are just symbolic actions with no practical use. But in ancient life, ritual often had real power. A ritual could calm fear. A ritual could unite a group. A ritual could mark an important moment. A ritual could prepare people for hunting, healing, burial, or change. When humans do the same meaningful act together again and again, it creates order in a chaotic world. That was especially important in ancient times. Because life was uncertain, ritual gave shape to uncertainty. Fire ceremonies, burial practices, smoke offerings, dance, song, body paint, and sacred gatherings all helped ancient people feel that life had structure. That structure was hidden from the modern eye because it was not always written down, but it shaped everything. Ancient life was also hidden inside the landscape itself. To us, a forest may look like trees, a desert may look like sand, a river may look like water, a mountain may look like stone. To an ancient human, every one of those places held memory and meaning. A tree might mark a path, a rock might mark a boundary, a cave might be shelter, burial space, or sacred space. A hill might be a lookout point, a river might be a food source, a travel route, and a spiritual symbol all at once. The land was not just land, it was a living map. Every place had a purpose. Every place had a story. Every place could hide danger or blessing. That is why ancient people knew their environment so deeply. They had to read the world the way others read a page. One of the strangest hidden truths of ancient life is that it was full of emotional complexity. We often imagine ancient humans as constantly stressed and survival focused, and yes, they often were. But they also laughed, they bonded, they cared for children, they mourned the dead, they protected the weak, they probably loved music, rhythm, touch, and companionship. Ancient life was not only harsh, it was human. The hidden emotional life of our ancestors may be one of the most important things about them, because emotions create culture. A group that cares for its children survives better. A group that mourns its dead builds memory. A group that shares food strengthens trust. A group that sings together builds identity. These emotional ties were invisible in the sense that they left little physical trace, but they were deeply real. Another hidden part of ancient life was the role of the body. Ancient humans lived much closer to physical reality than we do. They knew hunger directly. They knew cold directly. They knew pain directly. They knew exhaustion directly. They knew the smell of earth, blood, smoke, sweat, rain, and animal life. Their senses were constantly engaged. This made their lives intense, but it also made them highly aware. They could notice things modern people might miss: the way an animal moved, the way clouds changed, the way a plant smelled, the way someone's face shifted, the way silence felt before danger. That kind of awareness was survival. It was also wisdom. Another hidden layer of ancient life was social order. People did not live alone for long. They formed groups, they formed roles, they formed relationships, they formed expectations. Some were hunters, some were gatherers, some were healers, some were protectors, some were storytellers, some were elders. Some were children learning their place in the world. These roles were not always fixed the way jobs are today, but they shaped social life deeply. Ancient groups needed cooperation to survive, and cooperation required trust. Trust is another hidden force in ancient life. Without trust, a group breaks apart. Without trust, food is not shared. Without trust, danger is harder to face. Without trust, children are less protected. Without trust, knowledge is lost. So, ancient life was not only about strength, it was about social intelligence. There is also something hidden in how ancient humans saw time. Modern people think in clocks, calendars, deadlines, and schedules. Ancient life moved with cycles: day and night, season and season, birth and death, hunting and hunger, rain and drought, growth and loss. Time was not a straight line to them. It was a rhythm, and that rhythm shaped how they thought about the world. The hidden truth is that many ancient cultures probably felt time as something alive, circular, and deeply connected to nature. That is a very different way of experiencing life. Another hidden element of ancient life was the unknown itself. We often think humans want certainty, but ancient humans lived with uncertainty every day. They could not know exactly where food would appear. They could not know which child would survive. They could not know whether a storm would come. They could not know whether an enemy would arrive. They could not know what happened after death. That uncertainty gave rise to belief. People invented meaning because the world was too large and too dangerous to leave unexplained. The hidden side of ancient life, then, is that belief was not separate from survival. It was part of survival. It helped people endure fear. It helped people create moral order. It helped people accept death. It helped people imagine purpose. That is why ancient life feels so mysterious to us today, because so much of it was never written in the way modern history is written. It lived in ritual. It lived in oral tradition. It lived in tools, bones, fire remains, cave art, and memory. It lived in what people repeated, feared, and passed on. And even though we can study the traces, we can never fully recover the inner life of those people. That is what makes ancient life so powerful. It is both known and hidden. We know they hunted, we know they cooked, we know they gathered, we know they buried the dead, we know they made tools, we know they lived in groups. But we also know that behind all of that, there were fears, beliefs, secrets, bonds, and meanings we may never fully see. So what was really hidden in ancient life? Not just caves and fire. It was the invisible world of human thought. the private world of emotion, the shared world of ritual, the practical world of survival knowledge, the mysterious world of belief, and the deep human need to make sense of existence. That hidden world is why ancient humans were not just surviving, they were becoming human in the fullest sense. And maybe that is the real mystery, not what they lacked, but how much they already understood.